Hi you guys, it's your girl Kia Unique, and I'm back again with another video. As you guys can tell by the title, today I'm going to be speaking about my experience dealing with spiritual psychosis. I do want to make a few disclaimers before I go into the video. One, I'm very sorry if you hear my washing machine in the background. I am in the middle of washing clothes, but my daughter is laying down and this was the only time that I could take out of my day to film this video. So I did want to get this out for you guys. Another disclaimer is that I am not making this video to offend anybody. I'm not making this video to diagnose anybody. I am just simply telling my experience, telling my story in hopes that it can help someone out there. If you clicked on this video, then 9 times out of 10, you've probably experienced spiritual psychosis, you're dealing with spiritual psychosis, or you know someone who has dealt with spiritual psychosis. So yes, I'm not making this video to like diagnose anybody or anything like that. I'm just simply telling my story in hopes that it can help somebody else or shed light on somebody else's, experience. I don't want to make this video too long, but I do want to tell my story so that way it can help somebody else. That is my intention for this video, is to just simply tell you guys more about me, more about my experience, where I'm coming from, and kind of like where I am now. And just to show you guys that it's not the end of the world if you do go through this. You're not the only one going through it. You're not the only one that has experienced it. I promise you, you are not the only one. You are not alone. It can feel very isolating. It can feel very, it can just feel very isolating, to go through an experience like this and you kind of feel like you don't have anybody to talk to. And so I want to make this video to show you guys that I'm just a regular person, and I've gone through this, and I'm currently in the recovery process from going through spiritual psychosis. This is a very sensitive subject, so I'm sorry if I'm like looking all around or if I'm like messing with my hands and stuff, because I'm trying to get this out. But it's also a very sensitive subject for me. I did go through this earlier last year, and it's 2023 now, and I'm still, in therapy, recovery, trying to make sense of my reality. So yes. Let's just get into the video. So psychosis is basically when you are detached from your reality. Like me personally, let me just talk for myself. I knew that, well, at the time I did not know I was in psychosis. I now know that I experienced psychosis, but at the time when I had my episode, I literally woke up and was like in a whole nother world. Like my reality was still going on, like things were happening around me, but I literally felt like I was not a part of the reality. Like I felt like I was here watching the reality happen, and I felt like people were after me. I felt like everyone was looking at me, everyone was judging me, like on some Judgment Day type stuff. Like I was really like this is reality over here, this is me, like totally detached. Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna tell you guys like how I got there. So I began my spiritual journey in 2021, and 2021 I basically got introduced to crystals. At the time, I was just like, okay, they're just, rocks. Like, okay, whatever. Fast forward, spirituality started to pick up. You know, it was everywhere. You know, you see everybody walking around with crystals on. It was all over social media. Like, it was just like I was consumed with this information to where, like, I began to be interested in it. Like, okay, let me, you know, see what this is about or whatever. So I got into crystals, I got into spirituality, and my gateway into spirituality was conspiracy theories. And look, y'all, okay, look, I'm not here to dispel any conspiracy theories. I'm not here to like do any of that stuff. You do you. You're into what you're into, whatever. That's not the video for this. But that was my gateway into spirituality. That's how I got into spirituality. And through this, my reality, like the way that I viewed the world, was completely skewed. And on top of this, I have always struggled with depression, anxiety. I am clinically diagnosed with depression and anxiety. I am clinically diagnosed with bipolar type 2 disorder, which is the depressive type. So I was already dealing with mental health issues. My reasoning for getting into spirituality was because I wanted to find myself. I wanted to find God. I wanted to learn to love myself. I wanted to heal my mind. And it completely just went sideways. Like, it completely just led me down the wrong road. But that's because I did not have discernment. I did not realize that you have to be mindful of what you're consuming, of who you're watching, things like that. So yeah, like basically I just got into spirituality. I was still on my self-love journey, but I was also into the conspiracy theories, and I was into like, you know, the world is ending and things like that, right? That's the type of stuff that I was into. And it really began to have an effect on my relationships, as far as my friendships with my family. I really started to pull away from my family. I really started to pull away from my relationship. I started to isolate myself, and through me being into spirituality and meditating and doing yoga and things like that, it really started to open up my mind, but I was not always grounding myself. Like, I will be completely honest, I was not always grounding myself. I am the only person in my family, as I know it, to be on a spiritual journey. And so I didn't really have anybody that I could talk to about these things. I didn't really have anybody who, I'm sorry if y'all hear my washer. I really didn't have anybody that I could talk to about these things. I really didn't have anybody who I could be open and honest with about these things. And so I was literally just like cracking my mind open all by myself without doing the grounding work. And when I started to have spiritual experiences, I started to open up my third eye. Started to open up my third eye. I started to see stuff. I'm sorry, I received a call. But yes, so basically I was just cracking my mind open every day, constantly. Like, I was consuming this spiritual stuff, this spiritual content, watching different YouTubers, watching different Instagram posts and everything. And I was not grounding myself. I was not really being mindful. And so as I was opening up my third eye, as I was starting to look at the world differently, it really pulled me from reality, y'all. Like, I cannot explain this enough. Like, if you have gone through this, you understand exactly what I'm saying. I was here, but I was not here, bro. Like, for real. And so it was over time. Like, it did not just happen like overnight, you know. But yes, like that's basically what happened. Like I was just watching a lot of spiritual content and stuff. I was cracking my mind open. I was opening up my third eye, and it was so fast. Like I was doing it really, really fast because I didn't have anyone to, you know, tell me to take it slow. I didn't have anyone. Like this is stuff that I'm learning now. You know, like this, I had my episode in 2022, early of 2022. No one, the whole time that I was going through this, no one was like, oh, take it easy, slow down. Like I was just constantly doing this stuff. And so yeah, like that's basically what happened, y'all. Like I was just, you know, experiencing a lot of spiritual stuff. Like let me tell you something, the spirit realm is not nothing to play with, okay? And so I just really found myself like not really resonating with my environment anymore. I didn't find I ended up losing a job, y'all, because I could not function. Like that's how, like, and at the time as all of this stuff was happening, I did not realize that I was going into psychosis. Like let me just make that disclaimer. The whole time that I was going through this, I did not realize I was in psychosis. Okay, so I was having these experiences and I was going through these things, and I was like not resonating with my environment anymore. I didn't want to be around my family anymore. I became very egotistical. You know, I felt like it was me who needed to save the world. It was me, and you know, if it wasn't me, then the world was doomed, kind of thing. You know, like even now telling this story, I have chills over my body because it's a very like scary thing to go through, and you know, it's very shattering, you know, when your whole entire reality is just like blown up in front of you. It's just like, oh my gosh, you know, like what's going on? How do I function, you know? And so the whole time that I was going through this stuff, no one sat there and was like, oh, you know, you may be, you know, like my family, they were trying to like help me. Obviously, like my family was there for me. And I just want to say that I completely feel for anybody out there that is truly like going through this stuff by themselves. Like no family, no friends, no nothing. I was very fortunate to still have like a support system around me to kind of bring me back. But at the time, I was just kind of spiraling out of control, and my family really didn't know how to help me. I didn't even know how to help myself, for real. And so, yeah, that's basically kind of like what led up to it. Just like me cracking my mind and me opening up my third eye too fast, and me just seeing stuff that I wasn't ready to see, experiencing stuff that I wasn't ready to experience, you know, going through things that I did not know how to interpret. And that was the biggest thing, is that I did not know how to interpret what I was seeing. I did not know how to interpret the things that I was going through, my feelings. You know, with me already having mental health issues, it was very difficult for me to ground myself. It was very difficult to bring me back to, you know, reality. It was very difficult for me to be like, okay, this is a spiritual experience that I'm having, and this is like what's happening in the here and now 3D, you know. So yeah, that's basically like what led up to it. And so as far as like the episode itself, I went to bed that night and I just knew that something was off. I knew that something was off. I kept waking up my partner because I was just like, something is not right, something is not right, you know. And I kept trying to go to sleep, tossing and turning, and I don't know, like I think I fell asleep, but I felt like this weird presence over me. Like I felt like this weird presence over me, and I think I fell asleep, and then when I woke up, y'all, like everything was skewed. Like, I don't know how to explain this unless like you've gone through it and you've been in psychosis. Like, everything was skewed. Like, everything was happening around me and I was just kind of standing there in the middle of everything happening. That's like how it was, you know, like everything was happening around me, but I was like there, but I wasn't there. And it really just like rocked my entire world. Like, I thought I was gonna die, like near death experience type shit. Like, I thought I was going to die. Last day on earth, this is it, this is done type shit, y'all. Thought I was gonna die. And so you can imagine, after going through something like this, waking up the next day and like everything just being like normal, people going to their jobs, people just acting like nothing had happened. And it's like, did y'all not experience what I experienced? Like, even the day that it happened, it was like, are y'all not seeing what I'm seeing? Like, I was seeing, y'all, I don't even know if I should say that. I don't know. I'm being transparent. Whatever. It is what it is. This is my story. Hopefully it helps somebody. I was seeing like war tanks. I was seeing, y'all. And it was like stuff was happening around me and I was just there. Like, nothing was touching me, nothing was happening to me. I was just experiencing it. But it was like a reality on top of it was like a world on top of a world, because it was like, while I was seeing this stuff, people were also still like functioning. Like, people were still acting normal. People were still like going to their cars, going wherever they was going, you know, handling their business. Like, and it's like, are y'all not experiencing what I'm experiencing? And then, you know, I couldn't really sleep that night because I was like shaking up. I was like going crazy or whatever. And I don't want to say that. I was not going crazy. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to say that. I'm so sorry, y'all. I have been making light of my situation, and so I'm sorry if I don't use all the right terms. I'm sorry if I don't use all the like correct stuff, y'all. This is my own personal experience, and I'm not here to offend anybody, okay? But yeah, so the next day I wake up and it's just like, okay, back to reality. We're good now. Everything's normal. And it's like, everything is not normal. I just died. Like, I just died. I just felt myself die. Like, I felt myself in a whole nother world, whole nother, like, what? And so after going through that, it just completely threw me for a loop. I completely stepped away from spirituality. I was done. Like, for a moment there, I was done. I was like, this is too much, honey. I can't take this. And so, you know, I got into therapy. I got the help I needed. Like, you know, I'm fast forwarding stuff. Like, I'm not saying everything, but yes, so I'm currently still in therapy now, and I'm currently still going through this. But the whole point of why I wanted to make this video was so that way I can tell y'all my story, and so that way I can tell y'all what kind of led up to that. Just in case you're peeping any of these signs, you know, I don't want to call out anybody. I don't want to like do that whole thing. But spiritual psychosis is rampant out here. Like, because I've gone through it, I can look at somebody and I can hear how they're talking. I can look at how they're moving and stuff, and I can see that they are not well. And so if you resonated with any of what I said, you know, I definitely recommend that you get some type of help. It's nothing to be ashamed about. I know that it can feel isolating. I know that it can be very depressing. I still struggle with my depression and anxiety, and that day when I experienced it, it was like through the roof, honey. And so yeah, I just recommend that you guys get help. I really wanted to just tell my story so that way it could like shed light on somebody else, just so that way you know that if you've gone through this, if you've experienced this, like if you've ever had a full blown out psychotic or psychosis episode, you can know like, okay, yes, like that's what I went through, like that's what I experienced. You know, like maybe your story is like a little different than mine, maybe you didn't see, you know, what I seen or whatever, but you resonate with the feeling of like not being here. You know, you resonate with, oh, and that was also another thing, y'all. I felt like people were watching me. I felt like people were after me. I felt like people were gonna come and kill me. Yes. Like, yes. So yeah, y'all, I don't know. I feel like I was low-key rambling on this because I'm a little nervous talking about this, but I just really wanted to shed light on this. And I wanted to let somebody out there know that y'all are not alone. If you are going through this, or if you are in the recovery process of going through this, I recommend therapy. I recommend getting you a therapist who is skilled in spirituality, like who knows stuff about spirituality as well, because you know, that was my thing. I didn't want to like talk to a therapist and they just lock me up in the hospital and put me on meds. Like, that's not what I wanted. I'm not against medication. You know, if that's what you need, that's what you need. You know, that's your story. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm not here to, you know, talk about, look, you do what you do for your mental health. You know, I've had my share of being on medications. I've been off of medications. I'm currently not taking any medications. But I'm so much better now because of the support system that I have, because of the things that I've set in place. You know, I'm very mindful to just stay away from certain content. You know, I'm not dispelling any stuff. Like, I'm not saying that, you know, that stuff isn't real and like all that stuff, because I don't want nobody arguing with me in the comments. But I just know what I need to do for my mental health. I know what I need to do to stay sane. On this spiritual journey, you will lose touch with reality. It's like a part of it, because spirituality is like taking you out of your reality and showing you different things, you know, about this reality that we live in now. And it's not always pretty, it's not always nice. And I just did not have the support system at the time to mentally deal with this stuff. And so, yes, so now I am taking it slow. I'm very mindful of the content that I'm watching. I'm very mindful to meditate. And meditation looks different for everybody. You know, I don't always sit here like, you know, like I meditate in the shower, I dance, I turn on, you know, some of my favorite music, and I sit there and I have a playlist. It's called Sad Girl, and it's for like when I need uplifting stuff, when I need to uplift my mood. So, you know, those are little things that I do. I talk to my family. I'm very open with my family. I'm very open with my partner. I'm very open with my therapist. Like, that is one thing that I feel like will definitely help you, is stand in your truth. Because after going through psychosis, like when I was in it and when I was first coming out of it, I was scared. I was scared shitless to talk. I was scared shitless to like tell anybody what I had gone through, what I had experienced. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, no, like people are gonna, you know, do something to me or whatever. And so I had to get over that fear. I had to work through that. I mean, I'm in constant prayer every single day. Like, every single day I am praying every single day. I'm just in gratitude for my life. And, you know, after going through that, after experiencing what I personally experienced, where I personally felt like I died, when I say I cherish life, I cherish the relationships around me. I cherish the little stuff, like the grass on the ground, girl. The sun is out today. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to sit in the grass. I'm just going to soak it all up. Like, after going through that, you know, and that's what I will speak on, is I know that it can be very scary. But I will say, as somebody who is in recovery from going through that, it has brought me a different sort of appreciation for life. You know, I mean, I am just full of gratitude, like full of gratitude. I still struggle with my depression and anxiety, trust me. I've been dealing with that since I've been a little girl, from my own personal trauma and things like that I've gone through. But I will tell you, like, even on my worst days, it's like I'm still here though. Like, I'm still here. Like, we still here, you know? So it's brought me a greater appreciation for life, for the world around me. And, you know, I know that that's not everybody's case. I know that that's not everybody's story. But like I said, I really just wanted to tell y'all my story. I wanted to tell y'all just like my take on things. Because this is real. This is real. And I know that I'm not the only person that has gone through this. I know that I'm not the only person that has experienced this, bro. And you aren't either. You are not either, okay? You are not alone. You are not alone. Someone out there understands, not just understands, understands what you have been through or what you are currently going through. And so if you just needed to hear it from me, like, you ain't going crazy, all right, here you go. Here's the video, you know? So yeah, y'all, like I said, therapy, grounding work, meditation. You know, if you're too scared to meditate, because I know I was first coming out of it, you know, like I said, therapy, just talking to somebody, journaling. I keep my journal with me just to jot down my thoughts, my feelings, you know. I keep my journal with me. So yeah, y'all, that's what I experienced with what I experienced, okay? Like I said, I'm not making this video to offend anybody or to discredit anybody. This is just what I experienced. This is what led me to going into psychosis, and this is where I'm at now. You know, I'm healing my mind, and I don't really label myself spiritual anymore. I feel like going through that experience really freed me from the labels. Because yeah, I don't label myself spiritual. I just think that I'm on this journey of healing. I'm on this healing journey. And I'm getting closer with source, with God, the universe, whatever you choose to, you know, call him, her, they, it, whatever, you know. So yeah, y'all, I don't know. I feel really good. Like, being able to sit here and tell my story feels really good. I feel like what I went through, I was supposed to go through, so that way I could help somebody else out there. So yes, y'all, I love y'all so much. I appreciate y'all so much. I know this was a longer video than I usually make, but thank you so much if you stayed to the end. Thank you so much if you understood this video. And yes, peace and blessings to you. I hope I wasn't rambling too much, because I did not write any notes down. I was just going off the dome. And again, sorry about the washing machine in the background, y'all, but I had to get this video out before my daughter woke up. So yes, I love y'all. Peace and blessings to y'all. I really hope this helped somebody, like, seriously, from the bottom of my heart. I hope this helps somebody know that they are not alone. All right, peace.